And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
Yeah, the anticipation was there. The hustle was there. Very close to picking that one.
All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Screen by Porzingis. Back to Holiday. Sinks it. And the shot from Porzingis.
I'll tell you, at 7'3", to have that kind of body control, Kristaps Porzingis makes it look easy.
To the paint. It's stolen by White. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Off target from outside. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, briefly spoke with Joe Mazzulla. Immediately mentioned that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, of course, is at the top of their scouting report. Told me the key to stopping SGA is defending without fouling. Easier said than done, but try to keep him off the free throw line. And try, emphasis on try, to make Shai a jump shooter. A very tall task, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And when Porzingis goes to work inside, there are not a lot of answers for his size.
We know, Kevin, obviously, that post-ups become less and less a part of the game, but still an important one opportunistically. And you talk about efficiency in the post, that is Kristaps Porzingis. But not only that, the mid-range game is there, the three-point game is there, and the defense is there.
Now Williams, after Jaylen Brown's three-pointer that didn't go. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. Clock at 6. To the middle. Here's Holmgren. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And that 7-foot frame of Holmgren makes him so difficult to guard.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
Taking 2 shots.
Well, DB, it didn't take long, did it, for Holmgren to live up to his draft status?
Holmgren, Kevin, was an immediate impact player on both ends of the floor. At his size, to be able to shoot with range and the rim protection he provides, it was absolutely worth the wait for his team. This young man has got a toughness that has shocked even me. That's Tatum's size and high release point. He's able to get that three-point shot off against virtually anybody.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. And so Caruso will bring up the ball for the Thunder. It's a 3-point game. Holmgren with it. Now guarded by Tatum. The 19-foot shot. And the dunk by Holmgren.
And attacking the rim. Holmgren making excellent use of that height inside.
1:16 left to play in the first quarter. Brown. And finished off by Brown.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Here's Porzingis. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist.
Well, we know that Kristaps Porzingis can shoot the rock. He's a sweet shooting big, but you'd love to see him use his size in the paint.
Holmgren.
The assist.
And the layup's good off the glass. 7 points for Chet Holmgren.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
The screen from Brown. Back to Porzingis. Launches it. The Thunder pull it in. Down low. Here's Holmgren. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And he commits the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Substitutions for the Celtics.
Puts up a deep three. That shot is off.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think
The Celtics. 10. The Thunder.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far in the scoreboard. And when you consider how the Celtics are doing, guys, what do you think?
I really thought that everything seemed to fall into place for them in that first quarter.
boy, from the opening tip, they look focused and ready to play. You know, that's really paid off for them to get this early lead.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Inside. And that one's good, Caruso.
Assist.
And eventually every... player GA has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or two against the young fellas. And sometimes that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Thunder take it one step at a time. All-star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says, I think we all stay in the moment, and that's why we've been able to get better. Attack the day, the program in front of us. We all have the right intentions and want to win at the end of the day. Kevin?
Of that attitude, growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you, David. Back to Caruso. He's looking for Williams and finds him. It's good.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Well, the ascension of Jalen Williams, Doris, has been swift and very fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Kevin, he became very quickly in his second season a number 2 option and frankly borderline 1A option. And it's not just his offensive game, Kevin. This guy has become a stout defender. He's got the perfect NBA frame and he fits in personality-wise.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Jaylen Brown.
Well, the tremendous length at the guard spot that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander presents is a problem for a lot of defensive players.
That one misses. One guy who now seems to be a perennial MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Doris. He is rocketing up the charts.
He is, Kevin. There's no doubt about it. He can consistently put 30 on you like it's absolutely nothing. He gives you everything else as well, including incredible leadership and great teammate skills.
Williams. White with the defensive effort. Outside Tatum. .127 left now here in the second. A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. Here's Tatum. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. And Tatum driving.
Just tremendous understanding and fundamental basketball by Jason Tatum in pick-and-roll action. Beautiful.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Lays it up off the glass.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Holiday with the three. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Holiday's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Celtics. Gilgeous-Alexander, good.
But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a thirsty scorer, and if you concede the mid-range, he'll take it.
Back to Tatum. From deep. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Let's remember, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 6'6", so getting on the interior is not a problem.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Pass to Tatum. Back to Holiday. There's the triple. Dort grabs the miss. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. The Celtics lead by 5. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. If you mention the best players in the NBA, Doris, you have to mention Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How's he made the leap so fast?
Yeah, Kevin, this is an interesting growth and development story because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has shocked everybody. He can get to any spot on the floor. He's one of the most relentless drivers in the game. You have to respect his three-point threat, which balances out that dribble drive game, and he's willing to compete defensively. Sky is the limit for this young man.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
Just fundamental basketball from Kristaps Porzingis. Establish yourself inside and finish with the jam.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Lou Dort makes his bones at the defensive end. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says, I always try to test myself against him in practice because he's the best of the best. Coach Mark Daigneault said, I look at him more like he's an artist. We can shift him anywhere. There's no one he can't guard. Kevin?
David, he is a beast. Wow, thank you for the report. Screen by Porzingis. Down low. And yes, it's good. And that's 12 points for Porzingis.
Well, we know that when Kristaps Porzingis is in rhythm, he can string together a stretch of play where he is sustaining an offense.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Thunder trailing by 7. And the way the Celtics can attack teams, Doris, with their 5-out set, it's impossible to fully defend it.
Kevin, there is so much space on the floor because they have shooters at every single position and guys who balance that shooting with an ability to get off the dribble drive. This is as good an offense as we've seen.
Holmgren can't hit.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Back to Porzingis. And Holmgren pulls it down.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Now to Holiday. .149 left in the third quarter. Back to Tatum. Shot clock at 5. Drains it from 17 feet out. Tatum's got the lead up to 9 now for the Celtics.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's jumper is just so pure. This guy is on point with the midi right now.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's safe to say Jason Tatum is a bona fide superstar.
He certainly is, Kevin, and really been a big-time star from the time he was 23 years old. Lots of pressure on this young player, but Jason's not only embraced it, he's thrived under it.
Pass to Holmgren. And the dunk by Holmgren.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Here's Tatum. Tatum gets it to go inside.
Jason Tatum is a thirsty scorer, and right now filling it up.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team. There's 48 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Holmgren up top. Top of the key jumper, no good.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from. You want to command the defender's respect.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Celtics leading by 10. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. To the inside. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Screen by Porzingis. Back to Brown. And it goes down 2 points. Brown's got the lead up to 14 now for the Celtics.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
And at this point, it is their game to lose. They've done such a good job building the lead.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. And so it's the Boston Celtics with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's
23.
and there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Thunder trailing by 14. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the layup falls.
Let's remember that at 6'6", Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can more than handle himself near the cup.
Tatum with it. Takes it inside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that. Gilgeous-Alexander just taking the initiative, driving to the cup with purpose.
Outside Holiday. Back to Tatum. Outside Holiday. And a miss there on the triple. Thunder trailing by 12. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander.
And this is SGA's role. He's out here to score and score often.
Now Tatum. To the paint. Holiday gets the bucket. And the Celtics lead by 12.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both.
What you love about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is this young man's work ethic. He is a gym rat who's always looking for ways to improve.
Screen by Porzingis. Tatum drives in. Oh, Tatum torpedoes to the rack.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
All right, and when the timing ideal, my goodness, the D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
Screen by Porzingis. The kick out to Holiday. Stolen by Dort. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's Holmgren. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the content. It's on Porzingis.
And you know teams are going to be physical with Holmgren, but he's aggressive, and boy, he plays with passion.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And he ends up making the second, and that brings them within single digits.
Listen, it's only one miss, but it hurts all the same as they try to cut into this lead.
.133 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And slam dunk by Tatum.
You see the level of verticality that Jason Tatum brings to the table. Nice.
Holmgren in the corner. Another miss by Holmgren.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Boy, you respect the shot selection from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just taking what the defense gives him.
.58 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Holiday. And that's a foul called on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That'll be his second foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. He knows every possession is critical now. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Screen by Porzingis. Shot clock at 6. Tatum drives in. And that one is good.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
What an impressive performance, to say the least. At this point, it looks insurmountable.
.27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The screen from Brown. Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. Out to Porzingis. The 3 from Tatum. Dort grabs the miss.